Hello everyone, I'm Never Done. Welcome to my channel. You know, I draw a lot, but when I'm not drawing, I'm drawing cards. This is a board game called Zia, and it has recently got an expansion through Kickstarter. So today we're going to be looking at the expansion and whether or not it's any good, and whether or not it makes a great game, one of my favorite games, even better. Now, this game is all about space and doing things in space, and it's quite fun. I love it because it's all about little spaceships and making those spaceships your own. You can customize it, do whatever you want, be a merchant, a pirate, or an attacker, and whoops, it's great fun, and it really drives a lot of, do whatever you want to do in the game. That is fantastic. Every game is different, and you don't know how it's going to play out, especially when your friends are doing things. And the sun is right there. I'm just going to move into it and explode. That you don't want them to do. Let's see what's new in this game. Zia was made by Cody Miller, and the expansion was done by Cody Miller and Ira Fay, who did the solo aspect of the game. The expansion adds to the game more of what everybody wanted out of the first game, which is more ships, more space, more things to do. The first very important thing is that we've got a lot of new miniatures, about 4 of them, an extra one if you have the Kickstarter expansion version, and also we've got a few new enemies. These little miniatures are the Comets, which were new terrain obstacles. If you happen to run into one, or rather it runs into you, you are just dead. So be a little bit more careful when you're exploring. We also have this space station, which is actually a location on the map. When you go into this, you go somewhere off the map into the space station itself, which is really, really neat, and it moves around. Another neat thing is that all the terrain tiles that are added to the game introduce new hazards that you really do have to be careful about. There's a new star, and there's a gravity well, which flings your ship around. That could either be a good thing or a terrible thing if it winds up putting you in a black hole. Not great. One of the things I like the most about the expansion is the event cards. The event cards are similar to the title cards of old, but event cards affect everybody all at once, and they could be good or bad. So you never know from game to game what horrible things are going to happen to you or great things going to happen to you. It could be good, it could be bad. One of the tendencies of the event cards is a little bit to favor the underdog. So if there is the case of someone falling horribly behind, and I typically do have games where someone just doesn't seem to know what fame points are or why you would want them, it will favor them and help them catch up a bit. Now, of course, since this is a sandbox game, you want to be able to build your ship however you want. And in the previous game, the base game, you sometimes were a bit frustrated from being able to accomplish your goals of being a pirate or something like that when everybody wised up to your strategy and put countermeasures. Now the game allows you to reinforce your measures with other outfits that you can put on your ship, like cargo pods, armor, and all these little tiny ones that can just boost your particular choices of outfits, so you can maybe move faster or shoot better or defend better. This allows you to take better control of your destiny in the game. Also, we've got new stuff to sell, which is really great. You can also freeze while you're trying to get this new stuff. They've also got dead planets, which have relics that you can uncover if you take them back to the space station, giving the space station more use. The ice damage is quite interesting in that it is free to remove. You can de-ice your plane on a planet. However, if you don't de-ice your plane, the next turn it spreads. It's crystal, so it just keeps filling your cargo hold until you blow up. Not a great thing. Since this is a Kickstarter game and not made by a big company with millions of testers, I don't think board games ever have millions of testers. But anyways, this game had a few things that weren't the best. Oftentimes movement was a bit, people didn't like how sometimes you could roll a 1 on the very powerful engine. Some people didn't like how you gotta have 2 planets facing each other that traded what the other one bought, forcing everyone to just mine that planet endlessly until they won. The game fixes those things. We've got a little thing that helps your engines not be terrible when you upgrade them. We've also got an economy board, which forces you to trade once or twice, and then the thing runs out and you have to go to another planet to continue trading. Those kind of game-breaking things are fixed in this expansion, and is really, really good. The exploration tokens are completely removed and changed with new exploration tokens, which give you new cubes and movement and energy, and it's all more beneficial to get them. You don't get any fame points until you trade 2 of them in for a fame point. So it gives a point to exploring those beyond just hoping, gambling that you might get something. They typically do pay out, except the cases where it doesn't. One of the very notable aspects of the expansion is the single player mode. The single player mode allows the NPCs to become your opponent in the game, all working together to destroy you, and you have to beat them before they beat you. When I played against the NPCs, they beat me. I was playing on the hardest difficulty. You do have a choice of playing easy or hard. The different NPCs have their own little intelligences, which are varied. They're not the same from game to game or even within the same game. If you destroy one of them, their intellect could change. The only minor niggling thing that I didn't like about the solo experience was just remembering to do all the steps for every round. I kept forgetting and then not remembering if I'd done them or not. Sure, that's why I lost. The single player game also has the option of doing a campaign mode, which has progressive goals that you have to accomplish to beat the whole campaign. You can have different ships, and you have to have different ships as you progress through the campaign. It forces you to learn and use everything in the game, which is really nice because there is that one ship that nobody really wants. If you have the game, you know what it is. In the original game, the missions were a little bit samey. They were always pretty much go to point A, go to point B, roll the dice maybe, and get your money. Unless you could blow it with the bad missions. But in the expansion, we've got missions that reinforce the good, bad, neutral aspect of the game, so they can reinforce your desired mission. So you've got an arms dealer mission, a coercion mission, but you also have private eyes and cargo mission for neutral people. So you don't always have to be just running around back and forth to do things. A lot of things, you can start them up anywhere. Just mine cubes. Maybe that's what you want to do. Maybe you want to just run arms to other planets and do that. It's a little bit more varied as to what these missions are, and that's nice. Everything added to this game is wonderful. I really like how we got more stuff of what we wanted, and it's really listening to the fans. Cody Miller was definitely on the Kickstarter, responding to everybody's feedback, even down to these comet shapes, like how the model was designed. Do you like it? Do you not? Do you like this paint job? Do you not? He listened and changed things based on that feedback, which was fantastic, and it really does show. The game actually seemed to go faster in the expansion because there's a few rules to make it go faster. It didn't lag down like a lot of games do with expansions. With the more rules becomes more stuff to remember. In this game, the stuff that's added is really leveraging the stuff that was already there. So you've got new components. Well, you don't have to memorize anything new. It's just another shape of cardboard. It follows the same rules pretty much. And the mission, even the events, you just draw the events the same time you would draw the title cards. It's all not new information really. It provides new mechanics, but you don't have to learn much new to start playing. You could almost play with a lot of this without even reading the rulebook. So thank you, Cody Miller and Ira Faye, for your work on this game. It's fantastic, and I do hope there's more expansions coming for this game in future because there's a lot you could do with this. Think about it. There aren't any overt aliens. How about an alien expansion? Or a cooperative mode where everybody's working to solve some disaster on the board? Think about it. Until next time, see ya. And I've got to take my ship off. Why? It blew me up. Why did that happen? Would I not have moved out of the way of a comet? This is space. There's 3 dimensions. Couldn't I be above the comet? They were playing on a 2-dimensional board. I think I'm floating above the comet. I'm just going to put my piece above it. And you guys can just take your turn. I'm going to keep holding this here. No, go ahead. I don't mind. My arm's not going to get tired. It's 3-dimensional. Keep going. Stop complaining about cheating. If you like the look of this game, go check out faroffgames.com. They are the ones that produce this game and hopefully still have it in stock. Do need the original game, Xia Legends of a Drift System, or Xia, however you pronounce it. Hope you can get it because it's a fantastic game and I do hope there's more. Keep it going, Cody Miller. See you next time.